Hi, cat. Come and get some mango, baby.
One, two, 1, 2, 3. Self-awareness is a superpower. My name is KathyLaDonna. Welcome to Soul and Vibration. I hope the free thinkers are doing well. And if you're not doing well, I'm happy to remind you that you are the most powerful person that you know. You are the most powerful person that you know because only you can create your reality. Hey guys, today is Sunday, February 9th, and the energies in the day adds up and reduce to number 2 vibration. If today is your birthday, happy birthday. The spirit guidance for today is the owl. So when I looked at today's energy and I saw that today is February, the 2nd month, the day is the 9th, and then the number 2 energy again, I just felt super codependent energy. Codependent, why? I'm not sure. And with the owl energy coming out in the reversal position, I get the feeling of choosing not to see something. Choosing not to see something, and we have to ask ourselves, what are we choosing not to see, and how does it benefit us to not see what it is that we're trying to avoid? And I could see how, because with the number 9 energy today being the 9th, the number 9 does not like for things to end, because the number 9 gets so the number 9 reflects a part of our psychology that likes to be the senior so much to where we could avoid evolution because we don't want to be the freshman again. So it's like being the senior, even if you're the biggest senior of them all, because other people are evolving to the next level and going from senior to freshman and growing through life. But some of us, when it comes to certain things, because we're afraid of letting go, we don't want to ever be the freshman again. So we'll stay senior on the lowest level. And with us staying senior on the lowest level, we're a king or a queen, but we're at the lowest level of our own evolution because we're afraid of change. So with the owl energy coming out, it would bring me to what it would take for a person to be stuck at senior level, at the lowest level of their evolution. And what will cause us to be stuck at senior level and the lowest level of our evolution is by refusing to see certain things for what they are. Because if we saw certain things for what they are, then we would be forced to make changes, and we don't want to make changes. I think of the person who's like the king within their community, the king wherever it is that they live at. And it's like they've always been called to move to somewhere else, but the thought of going to a place where nobody knows their name, that's just the worst. And today this is ruled by the sun, Sunday. And with the sun in Aquarius, Aquarian energy deals with humanity, but when Aquarian energy is operating in a lower frequency, this is where a person could find themselves in a situation where they are the senior at the lower level. Only when Aquarian energy is operating in a lower frequency though. And what I mean by that, when I say the senior at the lower level with Aquarian operating in a lower frequency, this is where a person will look around at their whole crew and they're the strongest link within their crew. And some people might think that that's, it just happened that way, but unconsciously or consciously, it's by design. And you got to ask yourself, if you're the strongest person in your whole crew, then that means you're always being fed on. So you're always being depleted, but there's never a way for you to be recharged or rejuvenated because everything is being pulled down from you. So, in the process of choosing not to evolve to the next level, we do ourselves the biggest disservice because what's not growing is dead. So when it comes to today's energy, the number 9 and the number 2 together. Say if this energy is operating on lower frequency, this is where we choose to not see the truth in the connection, because who am I without this connection? We choose to not see the truth in the friendship, the family dynamic, because who am I without this family dynamic? It'll bring me to certain situations, how some people will do it for the gram, do it for social media. And, they'll get together in these friend groups where in real life, they're not friends like that, which is fine. They're more like network collaborative friends. And network collaborative friends, meaning that they get together to take good pictures and to, create this lifestyle on social media. And if they're getting paid for it, way to go. You know what I mean? But then if they're not getting paid for it and it benefits them in some way, that's their business. But to me, the reason why I bring that up is because a lot of the times within these groups, people won't even really like each other like that. And they're not really friends like that. But to own that fact, to own that reality would mean that they would have to do better. And, what is the world going to think when they don't see me hanging with so-and-so anymore? When they don't see us going to these places anymore? What are people going to think? So I feel like that's when that energy is operating in a lower frequency. But when it's operating in a higher frequency with today's energy, being the 9th and the energy is adding up to the number 2, I think of being a nurturer, being a server. But I personally feel like today's energy feels, more codependent than anything, Let's pause for a bit. I am proud of the services that I offer and excited to tell you about them. If it would be your first time booking with me, then I recommend the natal chart and numerology awareness coaching session. For a while, that was the only service I offered, along with the 30 minutes tarot reading, which is still available if you're interested. I noticed the pattern. At the end of the natal chart and numerology coaching sessions, some of you would ask me for a follow-up service options for additional clarity and guidance to assist you with whatever you're going through at the moment. I kept saying, I'll look into it. I don't know why it took me so long. Finally, I have created that option along with the service option to book a solar return chart reading for those of you who are strategic and like to plan ahead. Everything you need to know is within the description box below. Let's get back into the video. And we have the hanged one. And with the hanged one in the reversal position, the hanged one would bring me to reflection. It's like choosing to be in reflective mode when it comes to something. So there's definitely something to reflect about today, something to understand on a deeper level. So the sun and Mercury are at an exact degree, which is cool. I feel like with this exact degree that the sun and Mercury are at, positively aspecting Jupiter and Gemini, this could bring forward clear communication, clear, sharp, and direct communication. The sun conjunct Mercury is also squaring Uranus and Taurus. So, continuing to get news about sudden and unexpected or futuristic changes around our finances, around education, around the things that stabilize our society, our reality, the things that bring comfort. And, those that could be frustrating. So it's like still hearing news that we don't want to hear. Also too, some challenges, still being like we're being held accountable in ways that we don't want to be held accountable. And that goes back to, the square with Jupiter and Jupiter in Gemini and Saturn, North Node, and Neptune in Pisces. And with that square, like I've mentioned in past videos, it's just a matter of us opening our eyes about ways how we escape things, ways how we don't face things. And we are getting context and learning and seeing how we misinform ourselves, whether it's the foods that we're putting in our bodies that's misinforming ourselves, or the information that we consume that doesn't help us to grow, or the people that we associate ourselves with. So in those areas, some challenges are coming up. And I feel like with the owl energy in the reversal position, we're choosing not to see certain things. So today the moon is still in Cancer and it conjuncts Mars, and Mars is in retrograde. So with the moon conjunct Mars, today we're nurtured at the thought of home, family, and the things that motivate us within the home, within the family, the things that motivate us as far as how we nurture ourselves and how we nurture the ones that we love. When it comes to today, though, with the moon conjunct Mars, I feel like it becomes even more clear about where extra energy is going out. The way how this energy shows up in my mind, I think of a person getting some kind of an app, or even sitting down with paper and pencil and getting to the bottom of what's going on in their account. Like, say if a person have a whole bunch of subscriptions when it comes to a bunch of random things. And I feel like when it comes to today's energy, it's like a person's able to sit down and, take a look at the bunch of subscriptions that they have when it comes to a bunch of random things, and clean some things up in there, because they might have subscriptions to things that they haven't used in years, but they've been paying for years. And this person might not even be someone who has a lot of money like that, but these subscriptions might be, $2 here, $5 there. They're not much, so they're overlooked. But today, a person is forced to take a closer look, because so much energy that is required, it's like it costs so much for certain things, to where now they have to take a closer look at what's going on within their financial, situation. Where I feel like with moon in Cancer, Mars conjunct the moon, it takes so much energy when it comes to nurturing oneself, to where we're clear about where unnecessary energy is going out when it comes to other things. So yeah, when it comes to this energy, I love this energy for us, because even though getting started and with our day and making certain things happen, we can find ourselves, the energy to get started, it just feels like it requires so much. And once you get started, you're started. But even once you're started, you might find that your energy level feels lower than normal. So it brings me back to what I was saying in yesterday's message. If you've ever been in a situation where you weren't feeling well and you are super fatigued, from being extremely fatigued, you're able to see what robs your energy and what doesn't deserve your energy. And you're able to be more selective on how you spend your energy. So I feel like when it comes to the moon in Cancer conjunct Mars, I feel like that is a realization that can come in for some of us. And with the owl energy coming out in the reversal position, some of us might not want to see certain things, because it might mean a friendship, 10-year friendship that probably isn't a friendship like that, might need to be edited in some way. And that might be hard because of the mental connection, even though it doesn't add any value. And, that could be tough, where we're so used to having someone around, we're so used to the dysfunction of a thing, where even though it doesn't add any value, the thought of losing this thing or this person, it's a little sad, because you're just so used to their presence, even if their presence doesn't bring any value. It's like sitting there and eating junk food, and it's like you're so used to consuming this junk food, even though the junk food robs you of nutrients and it doesn't add any. And I feel like with the square between Jupiter and Saturn, Jupiter and Gemini, Saturn and Pisces, this is where we're forced to see how, the processed foods and things that we're consuming, it's just junk food. And in the process of us consuming it, we're being robbed of nutrients, and it's also, depleting us as it comes in, and the body has to get rid of it. So, for some it could be food, for some it could be connections, it's different things. But I love how we're getting better when it comes to nurturing ourselves with this moon conjunct Mars in retrograde in Cancer. It was a pleasure sharing this message with you. Before you go anywhere, please let me know you're here with me by dropping me an orange heart in the comment box below. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Love yourself as if your life depended on it, because it does. Take care of yourself, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.